The third month of Ukraine's counteroffensive has passed, but advancement has been gradual. The most recent changes are as follows. Two communities in the country's southeast, one in the Zaporizhzhia region and the other in the Donetsk area, have seen improvements. Russia has continued to attack Ukraine with drone and missile strikes, especially focusing on grain and port facilities. In the country's southeastern two villages, Ukraine has made progress during counteroffensive operations. The advances near Robotyne and Uruzhaine, according to analysts at the US-based Institute for the Study of War, ISW, are likely tactically significant because of the structure of Russian defensive lines, and take note of the fact that Russian forces have made a substantial effort to hold the settlements. According to a Ukrainian colonel, the Russian defensive line in southern Ukraine consists of three lines: a first line of artillery and personnel, followed by a second line of minefields, and a third line of rear positions. Although it adds that it is unable to determine the breadth of the minefields, the ISW claims that recent Ukrainian advances to the north and northeast of Robotyne may allow Ukrainian forces to start acting in the areas behind the densest minefields. Generals in Kiev have already issued warnings that quick outcomes are nearly unattainable because to Russia's reinforced defense lines and extensive minefields. Additionally, Ukrainian forces have kept up their operations near Bakhmut, which has seen some of the war's fiercest combat and has been under Russian control for a number of months. According to the General Staff of Ukraine, this week saw the establishment of additional positions for its troops south of the city. Additionally, it stated that Russian forces had attempted to launch an offensive assault near Kurdiumivka, which is located 7 kilometers, 4.3 miles, to the northwest of Bila Ora and 14 kilometers, 8.7 miles, to the southwest of the city. Russia has persisted in attacking Ukraine with missiles and drones, focusing in particular on its grain and port infrastructure. Since Russia pulled out of a historic grain deal, Moscow has been attacking Ukraine's grain infrastructure almost non-stop. The agreement was reached in July 2022 between Russia and Ukraine and was mediated by Turkey and the UN. It permits cargo ships to travel over a 310 nautical mile long and 3 nautical mile broad corridor in the Black Sea. Russia has switched its missiles and drones toward ports on the Danube after repeatedly hitting export centers on the Black Sea, which experts think Ukraine will need to sell grain into neighboring Romania. One of the targets of airstrikes, including one on Wednesday, was the port of Reni, which is located around 200 meters from the border with NATO member Romania. Photos of the port's demolished storage facilities, piled up grain, and strewn sunflowers were released by Ukrainian officials. Russia's latest strategy for severing grain supplies to Ukraine. Additionally, 3 persons were killed by missile strikes in the northwest Ukrainian province of Volyn, and more than 100 structures were destroyed nearby the city of Lviv. Less attacks have traditionally occurred in western Ukraine than in its eastern and southern regions, which border NATO member Poland to the west. Ukraine's government did not respond right away, but it has never openly acknowledged carrying out attacks against Moscow-based targets. On February 24, 2022, before dawn, Russia launched dozens of missile strikes on Ukrainian cities. Russian ground forces surged into Ukraine over a short period of time, taking control of major portions of the country and reaching the suburbs of Kiev. Russian soldiers were encircling the port city of Mariupol while shelling Kharkiv and capturing land as far as Kherson in the east and south. However, they encountered fierce Ukrainian resistance practically everywhere and had significant logistical challenges because to the badly motivated Russian forces who were experiencing a lack of food, water, and ammunition. The NLA anti-tank system, which the Ukrainian troops quickly deployed after receiving it from the west, proved to be quite successful against the Russian advance. By October, the situation had drastically shifted, and after failing to capture Kiev, Russia withdrew entirely from the region. Over a year after the invasion, Ukraine is now optimistic that its most recent counteroffensive would help them win the conflict.